I'm going to walk you through some sample exercises for how to link subjects to verbs. Remember that one of the key strategies for doing well on these exercises is to cross off prepositional phrases. Remember that neither the subject nor the verb will ever be in a prepositional phrase. So my first sentence is, glaciers move slowly down mountains or spread from their centers of accumulation. And if I'm looking for prepositions, I'm going to notice here that down is a preposition. And remember that I need to figure out what the preposition modifies by saying down what? And the answer is down mountains. So I can cross off down mountains because I know that neither the subject nor the verb will be in there. Or spread from, from is another preposition. From what? From their centers. So again, I can cross this off. And I immediately see another preposition, of. So I say, of what? Of accumulation. Well, now I've reduced a long sentence down to glaciers move slowly or spread. Notice that with those prepositional phrases removed, the sentence still makes sense. If you remove prepositional phrases and the sentence no longer makes sense, you should go back and make sure that you've done this part of the exercise correctly. So now I'm going to think, well, what am I talking about? And the answer is I'm talking about glaciers. So I'm going to underline the word glaciers, and then I'm going to say, what do glaciers do? Well, they move, right? That's an action. You're going to be circling the verb, but of course I can't circle on the screen, so I'll be using italics, move. And then I see or, and I think, oh wait, or creates a compound verb. The three words that make a compound verb are or, nor, and. So or means I need to find another verb, and indeed, here's my other verb. Now you can check to make sure that this is right by reading the sentence with just the subjects or verbs, the subjects and verbs. Glaciers move or spread, and that makes sense, so I've done this correctly. They then melt or separate. Now in this sentence, there are no prepositions, so we can't cross anything off. Now, notice as well that we have an or, so we know that there will be a compound verb. So in this case, the subject of the sentence is a pronoun, which is they. Oopsies, I did that wrong. That should be like that. They, and remember a pronoun stands in for a subject, so if this were all part of the same essay, they would refer to the subject of the previous sentence, glaciers. What do? They melt, and since I see or, I know I need to keep going, or separate. I can double check by just reading the subject verb pairs. They melt or separate. Makes sense, so I'm okay. Glaciers come in many shapes and sizes. In is a preposition, and so I say in what? In many shapes and sizes. So in fact, I can cross off that whole second part of the sentence, and that leaves me with one subject and one verb. Glaciers come. In the next sentence, I see some glaciers are small chunks of, you know what that is, ice clinging to, ridges. So we have two prepositions, and I say of what? Of ice. So I can cross this off. To what? To ridges. Now I know you're thinking, but Alexine, maybe this is a verb in the infinitive, because remember that you can put to in front of a verb and make it an infinitive. But in this case, the to is not attached to a verb. Ridges is not a verb. So that's how I know that this is a prepositional to. Now I have some glaciers are small chunks clinging. Sounds kind of weird, but it does make sense. And in this case, once again, my subject is the glacier, and my verb is just this little r, right? Because this verb is linking a description of glaciers to glaciers. Finally, we have others can be graceful and curved long strips up to 10 miles long. Up is a preposition, so I say what? Up what? Up to 10 miles long. I can cross that out. Now I've got others can be graceful and curved long strips. In this case, the subject is the word others, And this is an example of an indefinite pronoun. It's referring to something. We know what it's referring to. It's referring to glaciers, right? But grammatically in this sentence, it's standing in for glaciers or for something else. And now we have some examples of a modal verb, can be. Can expresses the possibility of be. Others can be, and that's my subject-verb pair. So I hope that this is helpful. Good luck doing these exercises, and we'll review them in class.